Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Randolph. Now, if you guys have been following me much recently across my main channel and this second channel, you'll have seen that I went to the Pokemon Center London opening on the very first day. And one of the perks of going to the Pokemon Center London is that upstairs they're holding like a games room where you can go and actually play a demo of the upcoming Pokemon games Sword and Shield. Now, keep in mind, the demo that they're showcasing is nothing really new. I think people have already had a chance to play this at Insomnia and also maybe E3. So keep in mind that this video here is going to be my thoughts and my opinions on when I played the demo. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I thought it'd be nice to just give you guys my opinion as we kind of prepare for the Sword and Shield games that are dropping soon. If you're watching this video and you're not already subscribed, or if you are subscribed and you haven't turned the notification bell on, make sure you go ahead and do that, because I will be doing a playthrough of Sword and Shield on this channel, so make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on that. The first thing that I was really happy with is that you can now play Sword and Shield using the Pro controller. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee game somewhat, but one of the biggest annoyances for me personally was the fact that you can't use the Pro controller when the Switch is in docked mode. Now, I understand that the Joy-Cons are like an integral part of the way you play in Nintendo Switch. However, I feel like this thing is better used when it's handheld on the actual console. Whenever you're doing any motion controls, this is the one to use, or whether you're playing Mario Kart or splitting the game up with a friend, fair enough, I get that. However, when you've got it in dock mode and when you're playing on a TV, please don't make me use these things while playing the Switch. It just doesn't feel good in that format, you know? So I'm glad and I'm happy to announce that on Sword and Shield, you can play the games with a Pro controller. Thank you. And that's definitely how I'll be playing the game when I'm doing my playthrough on my channel. So, amazing news. Moving on to the second thing I wanted to talk about, and that is that the demo felt quite restrictive. Now, obviously, this is a demo. Its intended purpose is to give you a glimpse of the game, and not even the actual game itself. It's just to give you, a glimpse of the mechanics, how the game is going to look, how the game is going to work in that little specific, I guess, period of time that you were allowed to play it, So obviously this won't be an issue when we're playing the actual game, but I wanted to mention it regardless. So for example, in the demo, you have 10 minutes and you're allowed to go through the entire gym. I believe this is a water gym. It kind of would make sense, right? The whole thing's blue, there's water falling from the sky. You have to turn valves to make sure you can kind of close off some water sources. So it's pretty safe to say that this is a water gym, okay? Well, the first trainer that I ended up fighting had a level 50 Vulpix, okay, a basic fire Pokemon in a water gym, and I was using a level 50 Sobble to fight against this Vulpix. Now, obviously, that's not going to be how the game is going to be played when it's officially out. This is just in the demo, but I thought that was funny, so I wanted to kind of mention that. As you can see on screen now, it was just funny to see Sobble and Vulpix on the field at level 50 fighting in a water gym. For some reason, unless the reason they haven't announced the other evolutions for the starters is because they just don't evolve, and the demo is actually a real representation on how the game's... I'm kidding, that can't be real, unless it is. Who knows? But it's probably not. Okay, so number 3, and here I want to talk about the game's menus. Obviously, upgrading from the 3DS to the Switch is going to have a lot more capabilities in terms of the graphics and how the game looks and feels. And as I was in battle, selecting different moves, selecting my Pokemon to switch, going into my bag, looking at items, I noticed that the menus look really good now. They look very minimal, very sleek, but they remind me of like a Silicon Valley tech startup kind of feel, like something you would see in an app rather than in a Pokemon game, The menus in Pokemon games were always they always felt very Pokemon and very nice, You were kind of scrolling through looking for your potions, everything was cute, everything was kind of like, I don't know, I can't describe how it felt, it just felt like Pokemon. Whereas in these games, in Sword and Shield, while it looks amazing, it doesn't look very Pokemon, It looks more like I mentioned before, like an app straight up out of a Silicon Valley startup. Maybe I'll get used to it, and I hope that I do. I just hope that it still feels like Pokemon, and hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Number 4. So when I was playing the Sword and Shield demo, I had a feeling as if I was playing Pokemon Stadium, right? And I'm not sure if it's just because I'm now playing it with a controller and I'm playing it on a TV. Maybe that is it. But in terms of the way the battle is structured and the way the format feels, like you've got these big 3D models of the Pokemon. I know we had 3D models in Sun and Moon, but for some reason this felt a little bit different, It really felt like I was playing Pokemon Stadium again. Pokemon models looked awesome and the animations looked great as well. I was playing with a Scorbunny and I ended up using something like Flame Charge, and the animation of the Pokemon charging, in a ball of fire just looked awesome. So I'm hoping that they've kind of like reworked a lot of the moves and they're not just kind of like they were in Let's Go Eevee, where I did like a double kick and the Pokemon just jumps up and down and doesn't really do anything with his feet. So I'm not really expecting much from Pokemon Sword and Shield in terms of that, but I'm hoping that at least they update most of the animations, okay? but I doubt they will. The fifth thing I wanted to talk about is the gyms. The gym in the demo felt awesome. It feels like such a long time since I've actually been able to go through a gym and actually figure out, you know, the maze, if you will. You know, I had to turn the valves, like I mentioned earlier, on and off to be able to navigate through the gym and actually be able to fight the final boss or the final gym leader. And then I realized it's because in Sun and Moon, we didn't really have gyms. You know, we had the island trials or whatever they were, but we didn't get to go through a gym and kind of figure out the puzzle in order to reach the final gym leader. We did have that in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, obviously, but how many times we played through Kanto now? We know the drill. Even though it was fun to do, it still felt like we were playing the first games. Apart from Blaine's gym was awesome. The way they had you like answer those questions and the way he just like popped out everywhere, that was interesting. But yeah, it's refreshing to go back to the original gym format, and believe it or not, I actually couldn't figure out how to get to the end of the gym in the 10 minutes that they gave us. When I first walked into the demo area, there's a lady there and she was like, do you want any help playing the game? And I was like, psh, nah, of course not. And then I stood there, and then I'm not gonna lie, towards the end I was kind of looking around like, yo, does anyone want to help me out here? I don't know what it is. I'm just awful at these like puzzle type gyms. Even though I love them, I love the challenge, I'm just not very good at them. I had Laura behind the camera trying to help me. I think she was even realizing that, yo, Randolph, what you doing? You definitely need help. So yeah, I wasn't able to make it to the gym leader. For number 6, I wanted to talk about Dynamax, and I would have if I actually got to the final gym leader and was able to use the Dynamax feature. So unfortunately, I'm not actually able to tell you anything about it because I haven't played on it. The guy next to me was also struggling in the gym. He got help from one of the staff members, and he actually made it to the final gym battle. But me, because I'm so stubborn, I didn't ask for help and I couldn't use the Dynamax feature. So that's that. And for number 7, I wanted to say that the graphics and the general feel of this game felt really good. When I was walking through the gym, nothing was skipping. The gym looked beautiful. The battle animations looked great. However, I do want to say that keep in mind this is one demo and this is in one enclosed space inside of a building. It's very easy to make the textures and the models inside the gym look good, whereas I was watching someone play, or I saw some footage of the wild area, and it did look a little bit like the trees and the ground weren't really up to the standard that we would expect when we're playing a Switch game. I imagine that the transition from the 3DS to the Switch may not be a great one for them, which is not really an excuse, you know. Pokemon is such a big franchise and the games are the core part of that franchise. They really should by now be able to go up to the Switch and be able to make this look like a top tier game like Breath of the Wild did, you know. I know that in Pokemon there's so many more, monsters, so many more Pokemon around, so many different models to include in the game, but at least the trees and the water, I feel like those are basic things that they could have done better on. Next up, I want to talk about the actual Pokemon in these games. New Pokemon is always a big kind of like argument with original Gen 1 Pokemon fans and newer Pokemon fans. A lot of people say Pokemon are losing their, creativity when creating the new species. But I just wanted to say that so far, all of the Pokemon that have been announced and the Pokemon that I actually played with in the games looked awesome. Like these you know that feeling when you see this Pokemon and you already feel like you've had them the entire Pokemon series. Like you look at Sobble and you think, yeah, he's existed forever, even though he's only a new Pokemon. And the same with Corviknight. I was playing with Corviknight in the games, as you can see on screen, and this Pokemon just felt so cool. And it felt like I've used this Pokemon for years already, even though this was the first instance of me using it. And I don't know, it just had this like familiarity with it while I was using it that just made me love the Pokemon, So make sure you guys keep a lookout on my channel very soon, because I'm going to be doing a video where I kind of plan out and build my team that I'm going to be using in the Sword and Shield games. Obviously, I can only do this using the Pokemon they've announced so far, but I did think this would be a fun video to make now, and then we can compare it when I actually start playing the games, and we can see how my team differs when I actually play through the game. So yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel to look out for that video. So like I mentioned before, the demo was a little bit restrictive, so I'm actually running out of things to say about the game. I was hoping that the demo was going to be a newer demo that we haven't seen or we haven't kind of experienced before, but that wasn't the case. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the actual trainer initiation battle sequence, I guess. So when you walk past a trainer and then they walk over to you, they say whatever they say, and then you kind of like engage in a battle. That felt really good. It felt different than it usually does. And I'm not sure if now that the game is on the Switch, the characters are able to feel more lifelike. Back in the old games, your character especially will just sit there like this throughout the whole cutscene, whereas now it feels a little bit more lifelike. It feels like the trainers have a bit more character towards them, especially the very first kind of screen you see before you battle them is kind of your face and their face in like some sort of anime battle sequence, and just feels awesome, and it makes me want to beat the person I'm fighting even more. So when I ended up fighting youngster Travis, I wanted to just destroy him, and that's what I did. That's what I did. But yeah, I can't wait for these games, man. They're gonna be so good. And the last thing I want to talk about is that the starter Pokemon are awesome in this game. For some reason, I didn't play with Grookey. I played with the Scorbunny and I played with the Sobble. I think it might be because I already kind of am leaning towards choosing Grookey in my Sword and Shield playthrough. That's a spoiler for any of you guys who are wondering. And I do really love all the starter Pokemon. It's going to be very hard to choose. I love how sad and depressed Sobble is. I love Scorbunny because it seems like he's going to kind of go down the line of a football player, because obviously these games are based in the UK and he's got like big, you know, footballer like feet, and it's kind of been rumored and leaked that the last Pokemon in the evolution line is going to be called Hair Trick, like Hat Trick in Pokemon. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I do feel like that's the direction they're going to go with him. And obviously I like football, so that would be a nice choice. But because I'm a musician and because Grookey is like a little, you know, music playing monkey, I feel like I'm going to go towards him, you know, Grookey gang. So he was actually the only starter Pokemon I didn't use in this little demo. Like I mentioned before a couple points ago, I don't know, the Pokemon in this new game just feel like they've been with us for a long time. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's because maybe it's because I've been so like involved with the Sword and Shield run-up that I've like spent a lot of time seeing images of them that they now feel like part of the Pokemon series already. I don't know. I'm really excited to see their evolutions once they're released, and it's like 2 weeks to go until the games are released, and we still haven't seen their evolutions. At this point, I'm kind of thinking, just wait, you know. I would hate to see them in the next few days. I would rather just play the game and be surprised when my Grookey or Scorbunny or Sobble evolves for the first time, and I'm pleasantly surprised with what I see. However, best believe that if they do release the evolutions, I'll be making a video to kind of give you guys and share the news with you all. So yeah, there are some early thoughts of mine while playing the Pokemon Sword and Shield demo at the Pokemon Center London. I wasn't sure whether I would post this video or not because I was kind of expecting a newer game to play or a newer version of the demo, but being as I was expecting some Pokemon cards to arrive today to open on camera for you guys, I thought, you know what, let me give you guys my opinion. I'll give you my thoughts anyway. You can take it or you can leave it. You can watch it or you can not watch it, you know. So a little bit of a break today from the usual pack opening videos. But as you guys can imagine, it's expensive getting a hold of these packs, and it's also hard to physically get them into your house, you know. Like with FIFA or with like online, you know, pack openings, you can just download them to your computer or to your console. For me, I have to actually buy these things and wait for them to actually be shipped to my address, you know. So we do have to split it up with like video game videos as well. But I hope you guys still like those regardless. I want to do a lot more videos on the build up to Sword and Shield, you know, my team that I'll be using in Sword and Shield, the top 5 things to do when starting Sword and Shield memes, Sword and Shield everything, baby. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. My name is Randolph, and I will see you guys on the next video.